Thank you for staying with us. A day after anti-system newcomer Bassirou Diomaye Faye swept to first-round victory, the people in Senegal's capital Dakar say they want radical change after years of deadly unrest, economic stagnation, and a political crisis that has 1 in 3 of the country's roughly 17 million inhabitants living in poverty. Faye's main rival, the governing coalition's Amadou Ba, considered defeat after failing to woo voters on a promise of continuing the status quo.
Était une vote sanction. La cause, c'est que le gouvernement sortant a pris beaucoup de jeunes gens et les mettre dans les prisons pendant 9 mois pour des manifestations. Et le droit de manifester fait partie de la Constitution du Sénégal. C'est pourquoi, quand ils ont fait sortir les jeunes et ils ont dit qu'ils n'ont rien fait, alors ça a fait mal. C'est pourquoi tout le monde est venu en masse voter contre ce régime.
Les 12 ans de Macky Sall, on a vécu l'enfer, en fait, si c'est pas trop dire. Macky Sall nous a fait voir de toutes les couleurs. Hein? Moi, par exemple, je n'ai pas vu beaucoup d'avancement sur le côté d'investissement. Ce que j'ai investi, je n'ai pas vu beaucoup d'avancement. Nous sommes dans l'informel. Ce n'est pas les, excusez-moi de la publicité, ce n'est pas les banques qui nous financent. C'est nous travaillons de jour au jour pour financer notre propre entreprise. Si l'État ne nous aide pas, qu'il nous laisse avec nos sources et puis nos...
And to talk about this, I'm joined live by the General Secretary, PATEF West Coast USA, Galisa Bully. Good evening from here. It's good to have you join me, Galisa.
Good evening, madam. It's a pleasure joining you from Dakar City, all the way from US, came to participate in the campaign.
All right, tell me, has there been any official announcement yet by the electoral body in Senegal on the concluded election?
There haven't been any official publication yet from the body that has to confirm Bassirou Diomaye Faye election, but from the pollings and the gathering of the results from everywhere in Senegal and the diaspora, it's confirmed that Bassirou Diomaye Faye has won this election. So it will be just a matter of time. Tomorrow, normally they should confirm that.
What would you say played a major role in Senegal that led to lots of votes being cast in his favor? And what's the mood like in the country?
It's a relief. It's a relief from 12 years of brutality and oppression. Macky Sall has put the country in a very bad shape. Democracy in Senegal is like our gold, our mine, and that have been jeopardized under Macky Sall leadership. So from Sunday on the 24th to today, it's an absolute relief. The country has, you feel the breathe, from people. But also, yesterday was the president, 25th birthday, 25th of March, the elect president. So for him, it's the best gift that God could have given him. It's a reconciliation moment. If you guys listen to his first speech, it's amazing. So right now in Senegal, the mood is a relief mood. It's a mood of happiness. It's a mood of finally we can go together and build a peaceful, but also we can strengthen our democracy that was undermined, under Macky Sall leadership.
Well, I know you touched on Macky Sall's tenure in office being not so favorable to the people. What should the people expect from Faye if he's announced the winner of this election?
He won the election, so that's official.
I understand that. I understand that, but I'm trying. I understand that, but we're still waiting for the announcements, just to be on the sides of things professionally.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what are the expectations from? Go ahead.
Yes.
Expectations for him.
Sorry to cut you.
Yes, expectations from Senegalese in terms of his governance.
Yes. So, first of all, it's reconciliation. And he said it yesterday on his first speech, is to reconcile the country. The country have been divided for 12 years. That would be his first aim. But also the other end is really to make sure Senegal leadership is back in Africa, but also in the world. And he also give a good confidence to the investors, telling them that we're not coming to just jeopardize the investment in Senegal, but we're gonna build a win-win situation. So for him, the main goal is not to come and build incredible infrastructure, but it's to give back to the Senegalese people, the rural people, education, justice system and health system. These are going to be like his core aim. But also in our program, it was like Pan-Africanism. So the continent of Africa need to like really be strengthened. So that's also part of his like main challenges. But for the Senegalese people, it's going to be first reconciliation and also to build an economic situation that will give hope back to the youth.
Well, I hear you when you talked about the need for education for Senegalese. You touched on justice for people in Senegal. But when you say reconcile the country, what do you mean by that?
So under 12 years of leadership from Macky Sall, we faced for the first time in history in this country, Senegal was the only country where you can come here, you would not know who is from South or who's from North. But under Macky Sall leadership, these kind of topics have arisen, and it was kind of a big scare. And right now, the country is completely divided. So yesterday, the president, in his speech, said it. He's gonna do everything possible to reconcile the country. So we're gonna build a reconciliation. So here it's not like a civil war that happened in Senegal, but politically it was a huge division that really was built up under 12 years of leadership of Macky Sall. So yes, the reconciliation is just to give back, bring back Senegalese people together. Politics should not divide us; it should unite us.
Just to backtrack a bit there, I recall the Constitutional Council was able to put Macky Sall in check and ensure he holds election before he leaves office. What does this say about the judiciary integrity in Senegal?
It says a lot. The justice system have been criticized for the last 12 years as well. But in the last minute, in the last month, in February, I will say, the whole month of February, the justice has really brought back the independence. They have took back the independence from executive. Here in Senegal, the president is like it takes a lot of control under the justice system. But we can say that the integrity of this process of the whole election is completely fair, 100% fair, because Macky Sall wanted to postpone again the election to held the election in June, but the justice system told him no. So I think today it's a proud moment for Senegalese justice system towards the world, towards Africa, to show that the justice system can, when they want it, when they decide it, they can actually, put check and balance, in the executive branch.
Well, one last question for you before I let you go. What can African leaders learn from this concluded election?
That we need to allow the opposition people to express, their vision, their political offer. But also, we need to let all the institutions, the justice, the legislative, and the executive, each one should play their role without being controlled by one person, the president. So I think that's what we should learn from the Senegalese, election, that if every institution play their role, we can have peaceful countries, we can have peaceful election processes all around the continent.
Well, thank you so much for your time on the news, Galisa Boli. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
The pleasure. Thank you to News Central.